right there.
Okay. So in the 2 o'clock position as the green Protoss, we have vGesiex from the University of Illinois. And in the 12 o'clock position, we have xODaydream as the blue Zerg from the University of Iowa. So
I'm gonna assume, yeah. I'm gonna assume that EXO is a clan, so Daydream. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay.
So Shattered Temple, in my opinion, is a pretty good map for Protoss in this matchup, because it's kind of hard for Zerg to get a third base with the rocks at the back, blocking that island expansion, and then at the gold. So,
yeah.
Okay,
Paul does see the closer position because he saw the overlord. So.
And he does make his first pylon in his base, so it's going to be a gateway expand, it looks like, not a forge fast expand.
Yeah.
Which forge fast expand can be kind of tough to pull off here because of the wide choke. So it's pretty vulnerable to roach wing all-ins, stuff like that. Yeah. And then gateway expands also allow you to put on a little more pressure to the Zerg early on. You're going to have faster warp gate and also better scouting, so you can get a quicker, you can get hallucination. So, ooh, we might be going first here.
Yeah. And SCX is going to regret not doing a forge fast expand.
But knowing him, he may cancel it anyway and drop a forge, because he does love his cannon.
There is an overload right on top of his gateway, so it would be really obvious.
Yeah, yeah. So he may just chrono out a few units out of that first gateway, and then try to put some pressure on there. That's really good to do against a hatch first.
Yeah.
Cool, just starting now for the Zerg. No gas yet.
Yeah. I think actually, yeah, he goes for the core instead of trying to chrono out units. Which, if you do the core, it's gonna be forever until you get your Zealot out. Like, just now he would be starting a Zealot.
Yeah, he'll probably start with Zealot and then chrono out a Stalker or two and apply some light pressure with that while expanding. No second gas yet.
Yeah. It's relatively late for Protoss to not have a second gas at this point. I'm not sure what he's doing.
Could be a 4-gate, but it also just could be really quicker expansion as a response to that.
He does double chrono the warp gate and his Stalker.
Yeah, so he's probably going to move out with the Zealot and the Stalker.
Still absolutely no actual units. Like, usually at this point, I think you make, like, 2 pairs of lings just to, like, have information. But I'm not... But he hasn't, for some reason. So...
It's just starting a spine crawler now.
Yeah, so this is actually going to be reasonably dangerous for the Zerg. And there's, and there's one more Stalker in production. So, it's going to probably...
2 more gateways coming up for SCX. Spine crawler not quite done yet, but he probably will be able to hold off until that spine finishes, which is going to let him be...
So he is forcing a ton of lings, which is always good. He does lose the Zealot, though.
He made 8 lings, which is a pretty good response to this. He didn't overmake too bad or anything like that. Speed starting now for the Zerg.
Yeah.
3-gate expands looking like for SCX. Going to kite some lings a little bit, but with that spine crawler up, he's not going to be able to do too much damage. A lot of lings in production.
He is asserting map control, which is really good, because it means that if the Zerg has a lot of stuff behind this, but he'll know really early, so that's important as well.
Yeah, a lot of lings coming out now. He's probably going to try and deny the expansion there, which with the units that SCX has, I don't think he's going to be able to hold this expansion. He's probably going to have to cancel. Well, Warp Gate's finishing with it, so with the Warp in, he might be able to hold it.
Yeah. The Nexus actually has a decent amount of power. He puts a pylon at the...
yeah, just to make sure. He is going to have to cancel the Nexus.
He does cancel it.
Speed finishing now.
And he surrounds the Pro, but you know. He did lose a couple of lings, but lings are really cheap, so it's not that big of a problem.
Daydream switching back into drones now. Just made around 10 drones and then 7 more in production right now. So this is a really nice job by him, denying that expansion for a little bit, and now just droning up right behind it. He's
The
not
problem
all in at all.
was SCX was supply blocked, so he couldn't warp in more units. But yeah, now he can.
Blink starting for SCX too.
Being chronoed as well, but he's actually really good with his blink micro. So,
yep.
Yeah.
Roach Warren and a Lair coming down for Daydream.
It's a normally timed Lair, I guess. I was gonna say it was really fast, but I mean it's not. It's already 8 minutes in, so it's not that.
So just working on the rocks at the gold, probably looking to take a third base there. +1 ranged attack coming up, so it looks like he is going to be adding in a good number of roaches. It's not going to be a purely wing-based type of mid-game.
There's also a semi-wall off at the front of the Protost's base.
Yeah.
So that could
gates number 4 and 5 coming down. So after those gates and blink finishes, we might see some pressure coming out from SCX.
Yeah. He does have his expansion up, but he doesn't have that many probes. So it's having that expansion isn't going to increase his mineral intake by that much because he actually didn't have main saturated.
Worker count is only 46 to 30 in favor of the Zerg. Yeah. He's got some wings heading up for a counterattack probably. Gonna pick off an Overlord, a couple Overlords.
Not really that many, and he should be able to just warp in some stuff.
Yeah.
So he does get the Overlord, and he has supply blocks, which is pretty important. 5 Overlords in production. Engaging the front, though, I'm not sure if that's the best idea, but it looks like it's working out pretty well. He does trade somewhat cost-effectively. Blink isn't the best I've seen out of him, but it's pretty good.
Yeah,
so
nice
it's counterattack at the front of the Protost's base. The Lings are going to get into the main, actually. Oh, no. There are Zealots warping in. Does kill a couple of probes, though, so it's probably effective. And he does force the army back, which allows the Zerg a little bit more freedom. There are a ton of roaches at the front, though, and I'm not sure. I mean, those could all be drones, really.
He's saturated on 2 bases, so he doesn't really need to make a bunch of drones until he gets his 3rd base up. So it's pretty good to have those roaches there. The worker count, 46 to 31 in favor of the Zerg. Now taking a hatchery at the back. So with the army he has, he's pretty much completely safe against any kind of attack that SCX could do. So I like the decision by SCX to just take a 3rd. Because he doesn't have map control, he's not going to really be able to attack anytime soon.
There's a ton of roaches coming in, though, so SCX is at a really bad spot because the stock goes on the front.
Nice
so
force fields.
Don't have anything. But decent force fields. A part of the army is cut off, but he did supply block SCX, so this is going to be a problem because it's not going to be able to warp in that much. A ton of roaches as well.
Actually, he might not be able to hold this here.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to. A lot of roaches and more in production coming in.
Yeah.
So starting to saturate that 3rd base. It's almost done, but
GG.
Yeah, GG.
Okay, so
we go
to a